Let's move on to the final main topic today. Ashley, what's our final main topic today?
Greg Timoslava. Last year, when Infinity War came out and broke the opening weekend box office record, everyone insisted it was going to break Avatar's all-time record of $2.8 billion. Obviously, it didn't even get close. Now everyone is saying the same thing about Endgame, but it feels different this time since it completely destroyed Infinity War's opening record. I know it's not a sure thing, but if you had to make a case that Endgame will beat Avatar's record, what points would you make? Thanks.
Ooh, great question, Greg. And yeah, listen, the question that's come up for a long time is, besides the question of can it break the opening weekend record, I think we all kind of knew it was going to break the opening weekend record. I mean, then 300 became a possibility. Ain't nobody saw 357 million coming. Even Disney didn't see it coming. Destroyed and slaughtered the existing record. Unbelievable. Now it's turned a lot of our speculative attention over to Avatar. It's turned our attention now to Avatar. What's going to happen with Avatar's record of basically $2.8 billion, like 2.79 or something like that. So $2.8 billion. What's going to happen at that record at this point? And that's a great question. Now, Rob, I've said before that I think it's going to pass Infinity War. Then I think it's going to pass Star Wars: The Force Awakens. And I do think it's going to pass Titanic. But can it get to Avatar? Can it get there? I still have some reservations, but more and more, I mean, there's a growing amount of arguments to be made that it will indeed catch it. Like even I've got to concede that, right, at this point. So I want to, if you're asking me what points would I make if I was trying to make the case that it will catch Avatar? So I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you the 5 reasons why you can expect that Avengers Endgame will catch Avatar. Now, tomorrow I'll give you 5 reasons why it won't. Today I'll give you 5 reasons why I will. Tomorrow I'll give you 5 reasons why I won't, and we'll see what it'll be. It's a toss-up at this point. It's getting awfully damn close. But if I had to make the case that it is going to catch Avatar, here's the points that I would make. Point number 1, strong out of the gate. We have never seen a movie get to $1.3 billion this fast. It's just never happened. Now, a quick start doesn't necessarily mean a strong finish, but it's good news. It certainly doesn't hurt the case. Now, think of it this way. As of right now Avengers Endgame needs to make 1.5 billion more dollars to get to that thing. Already, that $2.8 billion has now just turned into a $1.5 billion gap. Just like that, that gap has shrunk. And if you want to talk about pace, this thing's got a strong pace. Now, again, Infinity War was started off on pace to destroy Avatar's record. And of course, it never got anywhere close. But this is much further ahead than even Infinity War was. So my first point that I would make in the argument that it would catch Avatar is that it is so strong out of the gate. Argument number 2. This isn't some piece of crap movie that did great on its opening weekend because of a good marketing campaign. This is a movie that has received very strong critical and audience reception. People are enjoying this movie. Critics are enjoying this movie. Not everybody's loving it, but the majority of people, the vast majority of people are really enjoying this film. It's getting strong word of mouth. That always bodes well. Whether it's a 3-hour movie or not, that always bodes well for the kind of legs you can expect to put under you moving forward. So you get that strong out of the gate start, compiled with the fact that it's getting great critical reviews and audience reviews, and it's got that positive word of mouth. That's another strong argument that this thing is going to catch Avatar. The third reason argument I would make is because it's got very little resistance for a number of weeks. I mean, like we went into it this weekend, it's got a little rom-com in long shot that poses no real threat. Then we've got one film on Avengers' third weekend in Detective Pikachu. That'll be a bump in the road, but it's just one film there. Then there's essentially nothing the week after that, and then Aladdin will come. Okay, so Aladdin at that point will be the #1 film at the box office that weekend, sure, but that gives kind of like, which Fast and Furious was it where they had the 47-mile long runway?
6.
Was it 6? We're looking at Avengers Endgame now with a very long runway in front of it that it's going to essentially pretty much go, for the most part, unchallenged. So that, I think, is another strong argument of why we'll get to Avatar's number. Point number 4 is the eventness of Endgame. You know, a lot of people will talk about Avatar and how did Avatar get to that amazing $2.8 billion number. It opened it with about 70 something million dollars. 70. And yet it went on to make, why did it do that much? I think a part of that was because of the event atmosphere that started surrounding it. Avatar became a circus in a positive way. Everybody was talking about it. It became the thing that even if you had no interest in Avatar, well, crap, everybody in my office has seen it. All of my fans, my family have seen it. All of my nephews have seen it. All of my nieces have seen it. It's an event atmosphere. People who never watch the NFL watch the Super Bowl because it's the event of it. You know, a lot of people who are not regular moviegoers will watch the Oscars because of the eventness of it. And I think Avatar had that event feel. And I think you can make a strong argument that Avengers Endgame carries that same event kind of feel to it. Whether it's because it's the culmination of a previous 21 films, whether or not it's because it's like it broke all these records, whether it becomes like, again, everybody in my office has seen it. There's an event atmosphere around this movie right now, and that's going to push it a long way, and it's already served it very well. So that is, I think, is a fourth very good argument to make about why Avatar is going to fall to Avengers Endgame. The fifth reason I would make is this, is the Captain Marvel / Black Panther effect. And Rob, you were really the person to me that really highlighted this the most, even up to about a month or two ago, was the fact that when you're going into Endgame, Black Panther was a different kind of movie than the MCU had ever done, than any comic book movie had ever done. And it introduced new audiences into the MCU that may have not been there before, and they got brought in. Black Panther's going to be in Avengers Infinity War. We love this MCU now. And then they came in as well. And you, Rob, made the point to me about a month or two ago that you believe that Captain Marvel is going to have that same kind of impact. That we're going to get a whole new, fresh batch of new audiences that maybe have never gone to an MCU movie before. They're going to come out for Captain Marvel. You know, you're going to get a bigger of a female audience out to this thing that maybe have never gotten into the MCU before. And then that has now funneled itself directly into Avengers Endgame, much the way that Black Panther did for Infinity War. And I think when you sit back, if we were in a court and I had to make my arguments, I think I just made a winning argument. And the 5 arguments are strong out of the gate, already at 1.3, maybe by the end of the day at 1.4. Critic and audience approval is through the roof. There is no resistance, any significant resistance coming for a while. It's got a nice long runway in front of it. There's an absolute event feel to this movie. And we've got that Captain Marvel and Black Panther effect in engagement here. Those, I think, are reasons. Now, I believe there are also some arguments to be made that why it won't still. It still has $1.5 billion to go. And how many movies in history have ever made $1.5 billion? And it's already got its opening weekend behind, but we'll go into those tomorrow. But I think these are 3 pretty strong arguments for why Endgame is going to catch Avatar. Rob, you've heard my arguments now. What would you say to any of those? Or do you have any off the top of your head that maybe you think I'm leaving out at this point?
I mean, I think what the most important, I agree with all of those sound arguments that you made, but I think the most important thing is this is a movie that has touched people. It's not just an event movie. I mean, I've been getting letters from people, old guys, like middle-aged dudes who are going to see this movie 3 and 4 and 5 times. They're taking their daughters and granddaughters, and it's really, I think this is a comic book movie that also, for whatever reason, has an emotional impact more than any other, maybe other than Logan. I can't imagine a comic book movie that's made people cry as much as this movie has. People have a real emotional connection to this movie, more than I've ever seen of any comic book movie, especially on a mass audience scale. I think it's just a great movie that's connecting with people, and people want to see it again and again and again. And the only way a movie can catch Avatar is through replayability.
Yeah.
You got to get people to go see it more than once, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you and I have seen it multiple times. And a lot of people I'm talking to, I went 4 times in the last couple of days. And I've never seen anything like this. And I think what's interesting, the second time I saw this movie, I was struck by just how well it holds up to multiple viewings. You know, there aren't parts of it where I go, oh,
well, this is 3 hours long. There's a lot to rediscover along the way.
I know, but it's like there's something. This movie's got something going on. It's got whatever Tinkerbell uses on Disney movies. Tinkerbell flew around the Disney lot and found some of this special magic dust that she sprinkles on things, and she sprinkled it on this movie. This movie has that X factor that I don't know what it is, but it's something that's really permeating the psyche, especially of like middle-aged dudes. They're going back.
No,
I'm going back.
I think it's everybody, man. I think you can go across demographics on this.
Yeah, I know, absolutely.
From men, women, children, young, old, across the board. It seems to be touching on every demographic. Which, I mean, look, that's Disney. They want to be a 4-quadrant film, right? They want all their stuff to be that. And there's a reason they like their films to be that, and it's paying off, and we're seeing it in spades. And let's see how it does. Again, I think we're going to get I think we will know 100% for sure if Avatar is going to get caught by Endgame on the weekend that Detective Pikachu opens. I think at the end of that weekend, we will know for sure if it's going to catch it or not. We might even know for sure before that happens, but I think at the very latest, we're going to know it there. Let me ask you guys, what do you think? Are there other arguments to make that this thing is going to catch it? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.